And hello everybody, welcome to Minecraft Blockception 3. I played 4 and 5. I don't think I played 5 all the way through, but regardless, I thought it was finally time that we go at it and make a video on 3. Wait, what? Do I have? Oh, I have to hit here. Yeah, I mean, record's like 11 minutes. Whoops. I don't expect to even get close to beating the record, but I figure since, record's pretty close to 10 minutes, I doubt the map will take too long to complete, probably like 20 minutes at the max. Unless I start making a bunch of random mistakes all over the place. Which is really an interesting change after having played the later maps where it's like, yeah, the maps take like an hour and 20 minutes minimum to complete, and, the records are like 40 minutes or whatever, but the chance of getting that lower. Almost zero on your first try. I don't know what I'm doing though. Like, I'm just apparently not recording right now. I love when that happens, especially if I've just started recording and I just start playing completely incompetently. Like, I follow up having played amazingly previously and having had a really good day of gaming by turning on the camera, let's do some recording. I know I say camera, but I don't do face cam. And then I just completely whiff everything. Like, the same thing happens to me sometimes with Siege, where I'll be just on a complete roll, and then I go into ranked, and everything goes wrong. I think that's something kind of all gamers can relate to, is moments when you're having just a really good day of gaming, and then you change something up and just everything goes wrong, even if it's something that normally makes you better. So yeah, something's in the distance over there. I mean, I'm picking it up. I'm not playing absolute garbage anymore. But yeah. Slime blocks. Oh, yeah, sure enough. There sure are. That's an insane jump. I love how cool these maps are. Like, it's a little bit less cool now that I've kind of figured out how he makes them from watching some of his videos, where it's not like a build made out of like any really handwork. Like, it's not like, with Captain Sparkles when he was playing through them. Apparently he was like, you at least gotta, build each one once. Apparently he got by it with programming in a way to deal with it, which makes it a little less cool knowing that, this stuff wasn't even built once by hand. But I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. It's just kind of like, it breaks the illusion a bit, I guess you could say. To know. Like, it's cool that the map creator has a way to make all this stuff, and it's really cool to play through. But it's just, it takes a bit of the impressiveness out. It's kind of like when you get shown a build that you think's built in survival. Like, somebody shows you a build and it's like, I built this in my survival world. Isn't this super cool? And then later you find out that, oh, yeah, they used creative to build it. Maybe it was in their survival world, but it was in a creative copy of said survival world or whatever. It's kind of like that. Well, kind of like that. Like, the one problem with it is, that situation kind of requires being lied to in the first place. Whereas in this case, it's not like he lied or anything. He just made the maps. I mean, absolutely nothing nefarious about it. It's just really cool maps. But, yeah. It's the same sort of kind of feel. Same sort of feel where just a bit of disappointment where you thought it was one thing, and then it's another thing that's still really impressive, but just not to the same degree. How does he want us to get to the hard stuff? Like, last time I checked, triple neos weren't exactly superbly easy. Or possible, either. Oh, maybe it's possible. I'm not super worried about trying it out, though. Oh, wait. What? Oh, it's just for that one jump. Never mind. It's not like 2 different paths or anything. He just set up a triple neo that's likely possible based off of the surroundings. It's hard for me to say. I've never even tried to do one, and I'm not quite interested in starting yet. Maybe one day. Whee. I like ice jumps are so satisfying when spaced properly. Whoops, gotta actually jump. Oh, I want the speed to wear off. There we go. Man. Whee. Okay. Okay, let's do this properly. Here we go. Bam. 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 Maybe I should learn to do triple neos. Like, I have a feeling that if I could learn to do triple neos, I wouldn't have any particular problems with double neos anymore, which I would very much so like. Okay, okay. Oh, for a second I thought I started moving too late. I saw the glass and immediately thought of the mirror map and times that he's used it before in the Blockception map. So I was like, oh, I gotta... It's a mirror. Go the opposite direction. And then the glass... I was like, oh, wait, no, I'm wrong. I gotta go over there. Which, I know I've said this before, but... I hate that sort of mirror parkour. It's some of the worst nightmare sort of stuff. Like, even when you're doing well, it's painful. Like, it's one of those things. Like, most of the time with stuff in games, if something's annoying, it's because it's difficult a lot of times. Like, if you set up something overly difficult, it'll make people mad. Like, that'll a lot of times be the case. But other times it's just like, oh, no, that could be the easiest thing in the world, and I would still hate doing it. Okay, there we go. Parkour. Let's not mess this up this time. There we go. Oh, where am I going? To here. Okay, and we're off again. I have a feeling I'm probably going to actually be looking at closer to a 30-minute time, just based off of how I'm doing. Like, 25 deaths is quite a few. Oh my goodness. Stuff just got real. Also, I'm pretty sure there's 3 of the super massive, like, 3 times blocks. So, like, we're not even to the second yet, and it's already been 8 minutes. Choose your path. Normal but slower, hard but faster. Well, obviously we're going to start with at least trying the hard but faster path, which has been insanely easy so far. It is nice of them to put in the option, too. Like, it makes it really easy for, you know, regardless of where you're at, for you to have something that starts your level. Whoa, random black spike. Boom. Just a single neo. You put a triple neo in either, and you won't even put in a double neo here. I guess you don't want to make it too difficult, because one thing that can happen with that easy hard path stuff, especially when there's a checkpoint in the middle, is you can end up in a spot where, like, you get partway through in the hard section and realize, oh wait, I'm not actually good enough to be in the hard section of this map, and end up in great pain. Like, that's not something that, like, I can't think of any times in particular that I've dealt with that recently, but like there was a couple times back in the day that, when I was really bad at parkour, that I'd deal with that, where I'd be like, you know what, I want to do this quickly, and I'd go down the difficult but faster section, and then bad things would happen. I messed up. Let me fall. There's one problem with the slow falling. It causes problems for this. Boom. Okay. And there we go. I hate honey blocks. I will say, as we're moving further back, we're about to be like in the maps for Minecraft parkour. Like, we're about to be at a point where like all the new nether stuff isn't here anymore, just because we're going so far back in the parkour maps. Wee. That's very cursed. Very insanely cursed. Okay. Boom. Okay. Ah, I missed. Well, that's convenient at least. I don't have to take a death for it. I wonder if the world record had any deaths. I'd assume it did. Most of the time with the Blue Man's maps, the world record will have a couple deaths. It's pretty rarely flawless runs on them. Like, it's not never, but it is rare. I like those little jump pads. They're just kind of, I don't know, nice. They don't really serve any purpose, but they're kind of nice. But yeah. Like, I remember when I was trying to get the snake parkour done, the world record had like 5 fails or whatever on it. I also remember for the Don't Stop, which I learned all the speedrun tricks for. I actually think I got like 3rd place or something on that. It might have been 4th. But like there were 2 deaths on it, not because the world record didn't get no deaths. It was a pretty short map. But there was 2 skips that required you to die for it. So as a result, the fastest run was always going to have 2 deaths, because having a deathless run would always be slower. It's always fascinating with stuff like that when there's, you know, speedruns and stuff for pretty much anything at a high level. How it pretty much always ultimately becomes playing the game how the game creator had absolutely no intention of the game ever being played. Like, for example, with the specific one I'm referring to, there was a trick with double jumps where if you died as you were, due to lack of speed, as you were on a block that gave double jump, and you were double jumping upwards all at the same time, then you would be propelled into the air after you got back to the spawn location, and you would still have another double jump. So as a result, you could essentially triple jump off of, well, honestly, it was more of just you could double jump off of it, but the first jump was really large. And, oh, this is going to be painful. Can I... Nope, that still gives it. And yeah, I don't know. Like, it's very clearly not how the map was intended to be played by any stretch of the imagination. But it was a really fun way to do it. Like, I don't know. Learning to do the run in a way which lets you go much faster than anybody playing the game casually was really cool. Even if it isn't the way the game's meant to be enjoyed, it is a way to enjoy it. Which is also a reason why it's kind of weird to me when game developers crack down super hard on bugs like that on single-player sort of games and maps. Like on multiplayer, obviously, you have to scratch out pretty much any possible bugs just to prevent people from abusing them. But for single-player stuff, I'm always kind of like, really? Like if it's a game-breaking bug or a bug that will occur without you purposefully trying to achieve it, then obviously you want to fix it, period, end of story. But a bug that can only happen under very extreme circumstances and requires a lot of effort on the part of the player doing random stuff that a casual player would never do, I don't think there really needs to be much of a need to pursue stamping out bugs like that. Because ultimately they end up just kind of being a novelty. And the sort of people that are going to use bugs like that probably wouldn't have enjoyed your game the way it was meant to be played anyway. Which makes it kind of, you know, feel like it makes a bit more sense from that standpoint. Also, let me just say, random thought, I am doing absolutely atrociously on this map. Like, I don't know why. I'm just failing left and right. Like, it's kind of what I was saying earlier about the whole gaming thing. Like, I was playing some great Siege today. And now I get on this and everything's just going wrong. Oh, I didn't jump. Yeah, like just kind of everything's going wrong. To a degree, it's also been a couple hours and I'm pretty tired right now, so. But that's not that much of an excuse. Like, pretty much one of my main things with pretty much any games I play right now is I want to increase the amount of consistency I have while playing. I find that I have a lot of cases where, like, I play marginally, like, a decent chunk below my average at times, and then other times that I played a decent chunk above my average, instead of being able to hit a point where I just kind of play somewhere in between, you know. Like, obviously you can't prevent some degree of fluctuation in how well you play, but getting to a bit more of a consistent standpoint would be nice. And just because, you know, it kind of stinks in situations like this where it's like, oh, yeah, I'm, you know, playing poorly. Like, I'd rather have it so that I don't really have any situations like this where I play super poorly in exchange for bringing down my best performances by a little bit. Be a good trade-off in my opinion. Oh, lag spike. That stinks. It's because the new blocks coming into render distance, I presume. But yeah. Well, and one solution. I keep lagging, so I'm getting close. Need to take it slow as I start getting up here. But one solution would be just get good enough that it's not really a concern. Oh my goodness. What is happening? That's not really a concern, you know? Like, even though you have a large area between the level that you play at, you'll always at least be able to play at a degree that's acceptable. But part of the thing about it is, you know, if then I start having peaks of that level, then, you know, the peaks of my gameplay would be good enough to probably play professionally. And, you know, at that point, I'd be wanting to play consistently so that I could possibly start considering stuff like that, you know? So it's all, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know for sure what the right answer is. Maybe, you know, there's just some degree of stuff requires a lot of circumstances to go through, and as a result, it's hard to get all of the circumstances ever to a point where you'll be able to have any real consistency. And maybe there's a way to do it, and I just need to, you know, learn to play more consistently. I assume some degrees would be like, alright, would be pretty simple. Get on a sort of sleep cycle that's not going to fluctuate much, so that you're never overly tired in comparison to where you should be at, and make sure to always get enough sleep, and, you know, some degree of eat the right foods, you know, foods that give you the proper amount of energy, stuff like that. That way there'll be less fluctuation in like, oh, I'm tired today, so I'm almost for sure going to play worse, and stuff like that. I'd assume that would be a great first step to making sure that you play consistently for stuff like this. And I also presume that's a large part of why that's part of what pro players in a lot of FPS games will emphasize is, hey, make sure you get the proper amount of sleep, make sure you get the proper diet in, and, you know, stuff like that. And it's so weird because, like, in ways like that, it makes professional gaming sound like a traditional sport. And, you know, I know that nobody really likes thinking of gaming as a traditional sport, but in a lot of ways it is. And it's kind of funny because neither gamers nor athletes like to kind of consider the two in the same boat, but they're more similar, than I feel like either side gives them credit for. But yeah, I think that it's, you know, important to consider for keeping gameplay consistent. Which, you know, if I continue down kind of the YouTube path, playing consistently, you know, at least well, is definitely good for content and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. It's interesting how many things there are to consider, even for something like this. Just off of the idea of, hey, I want to, you know, play games at a bit of a consistent level. There's so many different factors that go into it. And yeah, it's just, you know, really interesting to think about. I overjumped that. Ultimately, though, the main reason for me going over all this stuff is I'm just really annoyed at how poorly I'm playing right now. Like, it's not that the jumps are difficult. It's not that they're jumps that I shouldn't be consistently making. It's just that I'm messing them up for some reason. Part of it's I'm not very focused right now, which happens from time to time. Like, I don't know. I hate when I can't really focus all that hard, but yet there's not really any reason why I shouldn't be able to. Like, it's one thing if I'm really extra tired, or if, you know, there's some other reason that kind of makes sense. Like, you know, you're sick or whatever, but when I'm able-bodied in pretty much every sense and still struggle focusing on something, it drives me crazy. And some of it's just, you know, a lack of willpower in some spots. But yeah. Also, I guess it shouldn't be a problem to mention this in this video, but MantaRay has made a Mitch on Itch diss track, which I believe my reaction to will be going up later today after this video comes out. Really cool. I've already made a reaction video on it. Manta let me go watch it early and make a reaction video on it. Whoops. So it should be coming out, you know, around the same time. I know there shouldn't be somebody saying that it's cool that they got a diss track and kind of excited about it, but I don't know. For some, it's kind of exciting. Like it's kind of funny too, because I remember when young Wizard, now Wizard Barley at the time, made one on me. Like I was kind of a bit mad at the time. Like, because I remember there was to me there was a lot of like, seriously, dude, and you know, now there's no hard feelings, obviously. I haven't seen him in a while. Anyway, that's besides the point. I just realized that I haven't talked to him in a while. It's been a second, but yeah. Oh, hey, that's the end. That's it. 26 minutes. We did better than I thought we would. That really snuck up on me. Normally I try to kind of be finishing what I was talking about by the time we reach the end, but whatever. That was, you know, faster than I thought. Anyway, guys, I'd like to thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. God bless. Bye-bye.